people that want to pay for healthcare or people that want appointments in 2040, welcome to a brand new video. Today we are looking at potentially the craziest political movement going on right now in the United States of America on how Bernie Sanders and AOC have joined forces. They will be running for president in 2028, where they will lose, and they are coping so hard in regards to trying to win. They have united with Hasan Piker himself. They have allied up with Osama bin Piker, and they are trying their best to get the extremists on their side. What a glorious day. So today we are going to be looking through their absolute dog shit situation that's been happening. Allying with terrorists was a brave plan, but no one saw it coming. And today we are going to be making fun of idiots, because right now I feel like the hypocrisy, specifically on the left right now, is glorious and the chaos is incredible. So Bernie Sanders is going on a tour called Fight Oligarchy. Everyone's been making fun of his name because Fight Oligarchy is tarded. It's a tarded name. It's pretty fucking stupid as far as political names of movements go. It's pretty dumb. Now, the funny thing is, the people are like, bro, but our audience don't understand what oligarchy means. The educated left. So, basically, Bernie Sanders and AOC are going on a movement making believe that billionaires are controlling the country right now as opposed to ever before, and it's very funny. I have cooked up for you probably the greatest presentation of retardation in the modern American politics. So, lock in, boys. We got terrorist supporters and retards all coming together on a glorious day. So, Bernie Sanders makes a tweet. The video speaks for itself. For those of you who don't know Bernie Sanders, he's a communist. That's it. You now know everything you need to know about Bernie Sanders. 34,000 people out in Denver. The largest political rally there since 2008. The message is clear. No to authoritarianism, no to oligarchy, and no to Trumpism. We are ready to fight back. Now on to Tucson. So, as you can see, here is a video of lots of people, 34,000 people according to Bernie Sanders, showing up to Bernie Sanders' rallies. Now, I have a lot of very funny inputs to say to this entire situation, alright? It's a rally. It's no Trump rally, but it's a rally, alright? Suspiciously, the only Trump rally caught on CNN was the one where he got shot. That's a conspiracy theory I've been looking into myself lately, and it's a little bit suspicious that the only rally of Trump's presidential run that was filmed live on CNN was the one that he got shot. Tell me that's not suspicious as balls. Anyway, so this is the Bernie Sanders rally. People out there, this is just a big crowd of people fear-mongered into thinking that Trump is evil, or paid protesters. Don't worry, gamers. The conspiracy gets very fun. There is so much chaos, and I am here for the chaos. All right, I'm not news. I like making fun of idiots. So the funny thing is, watching useless aristocrats who have become rich as public servants through grift, graft, and privilege speaking about fighting the oligarchy strains the bounds of the word hypocrisy. Brosif, you are the oligarchy. Now, I think this is incredibly important to note. They're running on the tagline, fight oligarchy, right? The rich people that control the government. AOC was a waitress 4 years ago, and now she's worth $23 million. Bernie Sanders has made millions off big pharma, all right? Should we not make believe that these people aren't the oligarchy? Can we shut up for a second? Bro, they're on a salary of $200K a year. How are both of them worth in the double digits of millions? Like, miss me with that bullshit. The irony is, like, hilarious. So anyway, somehow, they're gonna sit there, they're gonna yell at the people, they're gonna fearmonger that Trump is evil. Trump bad, Trump evil, oligarchy. And meanwhile, they are literally just the oligarchy on the other side. This is George Soros' son, Alex Soros. Super rich guy, billionaire family. Suspiciously, he has a picture with everyone. Look, there's a picture with Chuck Schumer, the senator. A picture with Tim Walz, the guy that ran for vice president. It's a picture with Kamala Harris, the former vice president. Look at this, a picture with Obama. Got a picture with Biden. Bro, you are telling me that there isn't some suspicious oligarchy bullshit going on the fucking Democrat side? Can we miss me with this whole bullshit? Like, this is literally obviously lies. No one is falling for this. They're not even trying to hide it. The ego is too big to hide. They're trying to be the shadow government, but god damn it. I'm not here for a tinfoil hat conspiracy theory talking about shit being manipulated. There have always been billionaires donating money to these people. There have always been, in Bernie Sanders' word, an oligarchy. The irony is, Trump won the popular vote, and now they're upset about an oligarchy. When the dude was actually elected. I don't know how many dead people voted for Biden that were collecting Social Security, but holy schmiblets, it's crazy. Now, the very funny thing is, on the point that I was just talking about how Trump was elected, this is Bernie Sanders giving a speech at his legendary Fight Oligarchy rally, which, by the way, I just want to let you know what they're planning. They're planning to coup the Democratic Party. I'm just to make sure you're aware of exactly how fucked up this is. Fucked up in the good way. I'm very much enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. Don't think that I hate that this is happening. I love it's happening. I hate that they're aligning with terrorists, as I will show you later in this video. But I do hate that I do love that it's happening all in all. It makes me very happy. The content flows. It flows down the river. So let's make this clear. Bernie Sanders and is this clip recent? Yeah, this was yesterday. Bernie Sanders and AOC are two leftist extremists. All right? Far socialists, mega woke extremists. They are upset with the Democratic Party for not being as extreme as they are. So currently, the Democratic Party itself is split in two halves. You got the far left and the left. And they are constantly butting heads. The left got absolutely cum dumpstered by Trump in the last election, so the far left is trying to make some kind of movement where they could try to take over the party. That is what we're dealing with right here, and whatever happens in 2028, it's going to be amazing for me. Think of the content, it's going to be crazy. Bro, DJ Vance, as we call him here, is going to fucking annihilate this bitch. It's insane. So anyway, so this was Bernie Sanders' little snippet from his speech. I got you some of the highlights.
We don't want a king in the United States. We overthrew a king.
Yeah, he was elected, bro. It's a good argument, bro, but like this dude was like actually elected. Like as much as we all want to make fun, Bernie, guy was elected. Here's the thing. I agree with some of the things that Bernie says. But basically, every criticism he has towards Trump is a criticism he could have had towards Biden that he just didn't say because they were a Democrat. And it's despicable. We're gonna overthrow a king. Meanwhile, all 7 swing states, all 7 of them, majority vote, all the counties. Now, there are some pretty special brain farts that came out of this entire event. So I just want to show you a couple of highlights. So this is AOC talking about what the Democrats are really good at.
We need a Democratic Party that fights harder for us too.
We need a Democratic Party that farts harder for us. Thank you, AOC. Truly standing tall. Standing tall and telling us exactly what the Democratic Party needs to do. We need a Democratic Party that farts harder for us. One more time in case you missed it.
We need a Democratic Party that fights harder for us too.
Yes! Stand on that box and talk about how the Democratic Party is farting harder for us. Now, you probably think this is the worst brain fart of the event. It's not. Bernie Sanders had the worst brain fart of the event on his Fight Oligarchy tour. This is literally the greatest clip of all time. This one didn't go viral. I don't know how this one isn't viral right now, but you know what, chat? That's why we have a platform where we're getting 10 million views a month, all right? Make this shit viral. This is fucking hilarious.
You know, if somebody goes out and robs a 9/11, you got 9/11?
If someone goes out and robs a 9/11, you got 9/11s? He means 7-Eleven. I love this clip, dude. Oh, what a glorious day. What a glorious day. One more time. I'm sorry, the footage is shit. So in case you didn't hear it, I'll try to boost it up as much as I can.
You know, if somebody goes out and robs a 9/11, you got 9/11s here? All right.
Yeah.
Somebody goes out and robs a local store.
Right.
Everybody says, you know, that's a criminal. God forbid somebody gets shot.
Yep, that is bad. The funny thing is, this is the party that's trying not to deport illegal immigrants that commit the highest per capita amounts of robberies and shit. The irony is, these are the people that are trying not to deport the highest per capita violent criminals. Ironically, that's their voter base, right? They're getting these illegal immigrants without ID to vote in states where you don't need ID. So obviously they don't want to get rid of them. But he played that off really well. He was so smooth. If someone goes and robs a 9/11, that's my goat. That's my goat. See, I've never robbed a 9/11 myself, so that's crazy. Now, to debunk some of the current narratives, which is very funny. So, as we've shown, oh no, this is the terrorist supporter that they're working with right now. This isn't relevant at all yet. Don't worry, it'll be a little later in the video. So Bernie Sanders says 34,000 people were in Denver. So huge, so massive, so big, so massive, so large cock, big penis. GPS data exposes astroturfing at Denver Bernie AOC rally. That wasn't that massive Bernie Sanders AOC rally in Denver. Turns out it wasn't as grassroots as advertised. Despite the claims of 34,000 attendees, GPS data analysis reveals the real number was closer to 20,000. Still big, but not record-breaking. So it turns out they lied. In fact, it seems like the big 34,000 attendee rally was more like a 20,000 attendee rally. Again, still pretty big, but only about 60% of the size that they were advertising. I do love, she's standing on platform shoes with the mom jeans to make her look a little bit taller. All right, Bernie Sanders taking little cuts from fucking big pharma. It's all astroturfing. It's lies. It's all lies. He doesn't support Bernie Sanders. He doesn't support big pharma, but he takes money from them. She wears the cringe mom pants to make her look taller. It's all lies. It's all lies. And they also lied about how many attendees were there. Now, it's even funnier. You think that's funny? Ho ho! Well, lock in, boys. There's another pretty crazy reveal. 84% of the devices that showed up at 9 or more other protests, including Antifa, BLM events, pro-Hamas and pro-Palestinian demonstrations, and Kamala Harris campaign stops. Are you ready? Over 30% attended 20 or more of these protests. Data analysts say the crowd was anything but organic. The majority were tied to activist networks like the Disruption Project, Invisible Democratic Socialists of America, Rise and Resist, and Troublemakers, all reportedly funded by Act Blue and some receiving backing by USAID. Not only do these people have no lives, but this is their job. It is literally paid actors. 84% of the people that showed up to this rally went to like another dozen Antifa, BLM, pro-Hamas shit. Tell me this isn't funded by an oligarch. Mr. Anti-Oligarchy over here gets some fucking billionaire pay for 84% of the people that show up to these rallies to go to other rallies to astroturf this shit. Come on, dude. 30% of the people at this rally went to 20 rallies for random bullshit causes. Like, are we all on the same page? The oligarchy is taking over America. Also, the oligarchy is funding this fucking rally. How amazing is this? See, the funny thing is, I think this is all astroturfing. I don't think that they have like a massive movement behind them. The Democratic Party has a 29% approval rating by Democrats. By Democrats. Like, let's be real here for a second. This is a colossal generational L. The only thing this is gonna do is splinter the Democratic Party in half. The people that want the regular old Democrats, and then you're gonna have the fucking mega woke extremist bullshitters that are gonna go for this weird socialism fucking crap house activist slop campaign. Like, this isn't just ironic. It's hilarious. Astroturfing to the point that you're gonna try to mind control people that this movement actually has legs when it doesn't. When it doesn't. Look at this. It gets so much better though. It gets so much better. Holy fuck. So anyway, this is AOC getting caught employing illegal immigrants on her congressional staff. Oh my god.
And it's just such an honor to be here in Arizona with each and every one of you all. You know, as Bernie said, well, actually, even earlier today.
Oh my god, look at this. It's all white women. No.
We were in Las Vegas, and on a Thursday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we had more people at that rally than Donald Trump ever did.
Yeah. We had more people than Donald Trump did. Yes, we paid them to be there, but we have more than him. Hell yeah. Huge flex. Incredible flex. Meanwhile, employing illegals on the congressional staff. You gotta wonder, why did she hire illegals on the congressional staff? Why didn't she hire, you know, American citizens? She cares so much about the jobs of American citizens, right? Right? She cares so much about the jobs of Americans. I don't understand. Why would this happen? Also, Donald Trump had over 100,000 people on January 6th. Yeah, but that wasn't really a Donald Trump rally. That was more of a anti-Biden rally. How is AOC still not prosecuted for employing an illegal enemy in her congressional office? Do laws just not mean anything anymore? Now, the irony of this is, that is the exact thing that AOC has been saying about Trump since he got elected, right? Trump deported people to... he deported like the Venezuelan gangs. He deported them to El Salvador, and some random butt-fucking piece of shit judge somewhere in the middle of bumfuck nowhere stands up and is like, I don't allow you to do so. Turn the planes around. Right? Remember that whole controversy? I covered that already. It was pretty awesome. AOC, and then AOC stands up. Do laws just not mean anything anymore? Do laws not mean anything, Trump? Orange man. Orange man, do laws not mean anything? You're gonna violate a court order? Yeah, do laws not mean anything anymore, AOC? Laws for thee, but not for me. These people don't actually have a spine or any form of moral backbone. They are fucking pieces of shit, all of them. I'm not gonna support. They're all just giant, huge politician bullshitters. All of them. All of them. Oh my God. Trump's New Jersey rally was estimated to have between 88K and 100K in attendance. Guys, they'll just lie. They just lie. All they do is lie. They only lie. These unbelievable narcissists. Trump, do laws not mean anything? Also her, breaks laws all the time. Now, the funniest thing is, it does definitely seem like the Democrats are pushing for a Sanders AOC 2028 presidential ticket. And I think it's important to note that the party is currently in half. Like, them doing this, on the one hand, they're accessing a lot of younger people that are excited for this. But on the other hand, you have to recognize the fact that this is splitting the party in half. Whatever happens is going to be a fucking bloodbath, and I am very excited. The bloodbath is going to be legendary. The chaos is going to be insane, and my content will only get better. You see, they don't realize all they do is fund my content, and I appreciate them so much. It's so nice of you to do this. Now, here's the great part. Look at this shit. It's unbelievable. Look at him on his speech. I think this might be one of the most evil things I've ever heard. Oh God, I'm shocked that he had the balls to go out and say this. You have to hear this little snippet of his speech, and then we will all come together and cry.
We have major epidemics dealing with addiction.
Right, true.
I think we lost 100,000 Americans last year because of drug overdoses, serious problem in my state. We have
drug overdoses, that's bad, all right.
People addicted to alcohol, serious problems with alcoholism.
All right, true, fair, I guess.
We have people who are addicted to tobacco. My father smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and he died before he was 60.
Yeah, bad, right.
People addicted to food. But I will tell you this.
All right.
In the midst of all of these addictions.
All right. So far, so good. There are a lot of addictions, you know, illegal immigrants coming in, bringing in fentanyl. Like, this is all bad. I think we can all agree. So far, Bernie's spitting facts.
The worst and most dangerous addiction we have is the greed of the oligarchs.
Not only does he not mention fentanyl, the leading cause of death in America, all right? Not only does he not mention literally the #1 cause of death in America, fentanyl, but he mentions the greed of the oligarchs, the billionaires that are running the country that are just so greedy. Okay, chat's listing like a whole lot of other addictions. What about addictions to social media? What about porn addiction? He doesn't care. He doesn't care. It's all a message. It's all a game. He doesn't care. Really? The greed of the oligarchs is more dangerous than the fucking rapist terrorists pouring over the borders? Like, what are we talking about? I'm the shock. Bro, you take money from Big Pharma. You peddle bullshit crap that the pharmacies tell you to because they pay you. Like, what are we talking about? Not to mention, by the way, not to mention that 95% of the billionaires in America donate exclusively to Democrats. As I'm going to show you, don't worry, this video is going to be big. This might be one of the biggest videos. Huge video. I came in here and I was like, wow, what a big video. So all of this shit, we have addictions to some things, but honestly, the biggest addiction out there is not the addiction to drugs. We don't even care about illegal immigrants. It's about the greed of rich people. Communism. That's my guy. Bernie out here spitting. Dude, it's crazy. Like, it is so wild. The party is misguided and out of touch. Honestly, they are so out of touch. That is the craziest shit. Bernie used to say tax all millionaires until he became one. It is shocking, bro. Absolutely shocking to see this. How does he go on stage and he talks about basically the biggest problems in America, and he's like, that's not the real problem. The real problem is rich people are greedy. Absolutely insane. AOC and Bernie want to fight oligarchy, unless of course it's in Ukraine. In that case, they're cool funding it. Like, dude, the hypocrisy is endless. Like, I could sit here for 2 hours making fun of the hypocrisy of these statements. They have always supported oligarchs. They just wanted oligarchs on their side funding them. This is all lies. And I know a thing or two about greediness of oligarchs. I've been bought by some oligarchs. Bro, AOC and Bernie Sanders have been paying people to attend their rallies. Kamala Harris did the same things. AOC fled New York City because she's caught paying illegals to be on her congressional staff. Dog, I'm not even kidding. Former illegal immigrant aide to AOC self-deports to Colombia amid questions about employment. They caught him, they were gonna deport him, and he's like, yep, self-report, get me out of here. Like, come on, dude, who are you fooling? Oligarchy is fine when Bernie Sanders and AOC do it, according to Democrats. I mean, this is what the Fight Oligarchy tour is actually about. Oligarchy is great when it's our oligarchs. It's bad when it's other people's oligarchs. That's the bullshit we're dealing with here. And this is the biggest movement because the modern Democratic Party are fucking retarded. They're so unlikable that somehow this movement is working better. You have to realize how insane this is. You have to realize how insane this is, dude. The current Democratic Party didn't stand up to clap for a kid with brain cancer. They're the most unlikable Muppets on the face of the fucking planet. They have let Trump get all the power in the universe because they put up Kamala Harris and a borderline zombie Muppet Joe Biden to run for president last time. They've fumbled the country. They had control of everything. They even controlled social media. They silenced people for having opinions about COVID. They controlled everything and they fumbled the country. So Fight Oligarchs is now a movement that people can support because holy shit, look at the rest of the Democrats. It's insane. AOC accuses Trump and Elon of gutting Medicaid and taking away healthcare, right? So obviously she cares about this. I'm going to show you the clip before we show you the hypocrisy because it's insane what's been going on.
If you are a fan of Donald Trump and you like to punish yourself by watching my live streams, welcome. I'm still fighting for your healthcare anyway.
But Trump didn't actually cut healthcare. You're literally lying right now. You see, the thing is, Trump stopped Social Security to go to dead people. Biden's largest constituent voters. Bro, you did nothing. You're not doing anything. Your fight is pointless. You're fear-mongering. Trump's not cutting healthcare.
If you are MAGA and you're on Social Security, congratulations. Welcome. I'm fighting for your benefits too.
And so is Trump, because he's not cutting Social Security. You're literally lying. Like, look at the bullshit that we have to deal with. Like, the people that watch AOC, like the AOC fans, they're gonna see this and be like, holy fuck, she is so based. Unbelievable snob, but dog, this is crazy. What is even happening? Trump is not cutting Social Security. This is just bullshit fear-mongering. How do you compete against this stream of misinformation and lies?
Because I actually believe that people should age with dignity in this country.
Yeah, well, Trump aged with dignity. Bro's 80 years old, and he looks pretty good, not gonna lie.
I believe that people should have access to health care. We don't, quote unquote, have the money for a better and improved social safety net.
Dog! You are sending billions of dollars to Iraqi Sesame Street and surprise butt sex in Somalia. Like, can you not make believe that you've always been using American money for Americans? You have been the #1 supporter of sending money to Ukraine and paying for transgender mouse surgeries in South Korea. Dog, you've been paying for underwater chicken tickling and LGBT activism in Afghanistan. Like, what are we even talking about? These are not people that give a fucking shit about this stuff. They paid for Hamas's terror tunnels in Gaza by sending billions of dollars of cement there. What do you think they did with billions of dollars of cement? Like, what are we even talking about? Condoms to Gaza. Like, where did everyone care about Social Security then?
Because we let assholes like Elon Musk gut Medicaid and gut Social Security.
To be clear, he did not gut Medicaid. Just little fact check. He gutted Social Security for dead people because Social Security was so retarded that it was funding dead people. There were 200-plus-year-old clients still getting Medicaid. So yes, he gutted the dead people that were still getting Medicaid payments. Honestly, that's a pretty good thing. But she's framing it as gutting Social Security. Like, what are we doing here? One TikTok, 47 lies. Now, the funniest part is obviously the fact that Kathy Hochul was overhauled the CDPAP program in a rigged bidding process, which will cause elderly and disabled New Yorkers to lose their home health care. New Yorkers will die. Does AOC care? So, she is a New Yorker. Why does she not care about the fact that New York is cutting Medicaid for 100,000 elderly people in New York? She doesn't care. You know what she cares about? She cares about the 200-plus-year-old dead people that are still getting Social Security. That's who she cares about. The hypocrisy is flabbergasting. Flabbergasting levels of retardation. I'm hoping you're enjoying the AOC is 100+% fuck franchise, because we are only at the very beginning. I want to show you what this tour is all about. This is the biggest left political movement in the country right now, and you have to know the foundation that it's standing on. And now, I'm not gonna make believe I am doing this to educate people and save the world. I am not. I am doing this because the chaos is incredibly entertaining, and I will continue to entertain. How about this little bit of entertainment? Oh, I think I already showed this to you, that 84% of the people that went to 9 or more rallies were there. This is paid support. These are rent-a-crowds. They are arguing and floundering about how we had 34,000 people, even though they only had 20,000. We had an even bigger rally than Donald Trump ever had. Even Donald Trump never had a rally this big. Meanwhile, they paid for their crowds. Like, what are we even dealing with here? More and more lies. Now, on top of that, in case you were curious, in New Jersey, on May 11th, 2024, there was an estimated attendance of 100,000 people at the Trump rally. At Butler, Pennsylvania, the report suggests 50 to 100,000 attendees. In Florence, Arizona, between 30 and 50,000 attendees. All three of these rallies were objectively bigger than their oligarchy simping. Literally, all three of these rallies were bigger. They were all bigger than the fucking bullshit AOC oligarchy crusade. All of them. Like, are we on the same page? It's lies on lies. She says 34,000. It wasn't. She says it's organic. It wasn't. She says it's bigger than any Trump rally. It wasn't. How do you combat this retardation with comedy? And that's what we're here for. Let's laugh at more idiots. AOC was in Arizona on Thursday with Bernie Sanders lying to her audience as she talked about politicians lying to the American people. She talked about the middle class at the same time she's investigated for having illegals on her staff. AOC lied about Trump's tax cuts. They said it only went to the rich, but it was the middle class that benefited the most. This is confirmed. The IRS data proves Trump tax cuts benefited the middle working class Americans the most, even though she complains it's an oligarchy. It was only to protect the billionaires. She's projecting in order to deflect from her own crimes, like using taxpayer dollars to pay illegals. She has also been instructing illegals on avoiding ICE and deportation. You know why? Because many of her constituents in New York City that are voting for her are illegals. Without the illegals, she can't win elections. Illegals donate her campaign, work on her campaign. Some even illegally vote for her. Like, are we on the same page? Do you know what we're dealing with here? Do you see the bullshit that's happening? It's lies on lies on lies.
And that is lying to and screwing over working and middle-class Americans.
So she's claimed that Trump is lying, but she's lying about this thing that she's saying that he's lying, because it actually is primarily for working class Americans.
So that they can steal our health care.
That's not happening. That health care hasn't been cut.
Social Security.
Social Security hasn't been cut, unless we're talking about Social Security getting fraudulently sent to dead people.
And veterans benefits in order to pay for their tax cuts.
Even though the tax cuts have been primarily for the middle class.
For the billionaires and bailouts for their crypto friends.
Right, it's only for the billionaires. That's what's happening. Like, we're watching actual retardation. It's an 18-second clip. How does she stuff 12 lies in an 18-second clip? It's incredible. It's truly wonderful stuff. Honestly, one thing I think that she's mastered is the idea of just going onto a microphone and just emotionally pouring her heart out, just lying. And people will believe her, because why would you fact check her? She's a congresswoman. Why would she lie? Why would she lie is the question. And when you see her speeches, it's insane. She says nothing. Teary eyes, mushy face, crying. Oh, the oligarchy taking our rights. And listen to how she speaks.
Elon Musk is not going after efficiency.
He literally is going after efficiency.
He's not going after making these things better for people.
He is trying to make sure that the country's tax dollars doesn't go to funding her fucking bullshit crap, which I think is making things better.
He's trying to steal Medicaid.
He's not stealing Medicaid. They're not even touching Medicaid.
So that he can enrich himself.
He's already fucking rich. If anything, if he really wanted to stay rich, he wouldn't have gone into politics. He could have just done government contracts with SpaceX. He could have made fucking crazy money on Teslas. But no, he ended up joining government. So he's obviously not doing this purely to enrich himself.
He's trying to gut everything that is good in America.
What does that even mean? He's trying to gut everything good in America. What are you talking about? He gutted fucking surprise butt sex in Afghanistan. How is that changing anything?
For his own private profit.
What private profit? Bro's worth $400 billion. What are you talking about?
We have an obligation to resist kings.
Trump won an election with a majority vote. All 7 swing states, all the counties. He won a massive majority.
We have an obligation to resist oligarchs.
Oligarchs are funding these people.
We will work in the streets, in the courts. We can overwhelm them.
So the good thing is, it's very nice to see that she cares so much about the courts. Definitely remember that she cares about working with the courts to overwhelm them, all right? Remember that. It's going to be very relevant soon.
We outnumber them.
They literally don't because, Trump won the election with a majority.
Understand our power in this moment.
She says to a paid protest that was literally funded.
Don't give up our power. Don't shy away from our power.
This is borderline inciting people to light Teslas on fire.
Every small action matters.
Yeah, pull out your key and scratch up a Tesla car that was probably bought by another leftist.
There's not one act that is going to save all of us. It is going to be the constant pressure and commitment to saving our democracy. They
Yeah, he was voted in.
cannot withstand the constant, consistent pressure. They will crumble under it. Every day, our job is to wake up and say, what can I do today? And
Yeah, she said nothing. She's literally just sitting there screaming platitudes. This is unbelievable. I have never heard more nothing in a speech. Half of it's lies, too.
so when they try to come in, make them show a document. Make them assert their authority.
Make Trump prove that he won all 7 swing states. Truly the word salad master. Following up from her former GOAT, the legendary Kamala Harris herself. Now, remember when I showed you how she just said that we're gonna make court orders because they can't break court orders? I have fantastic news. Fantastic news! You see, I found someone that actually fully supports the idea of the president violating court orders. It's AOC herself.
There has been thought, I believe, given to this. Senator Ron Wyden has already issued statements, for example, advising what we should do in a situation like this, which I concur, which is that I believe that the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that we should...
Guys, we found another one, guys. Look, she's right here. We found one. A wild charitard. It's here. We found another one. Holy schmeckledorf. It's insanity. Where did she come from? I was just outside in the tall grass and boom. There she was. Suddenly violating judges' court orders is nice and cool and based. Nothing like the double standards of the left, gamers. Hell yeah, it works every time. Endless content, infinite content jutsu, never-ending chaos. It doesn't stop. It just gets better.
The courts have the legitimacy,
Right.
and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings.
Right.
And what they are currently doing is engaged in an unprecedented and dramatic erosion
You mean like stopping Trump from deporting terrorists?
of the legitimacy of the courts. It is the
Right.
justices themselves,
Yeah,
through
right.
the deeply partisan
Right.
and unfounded nature of
Yeah,
these
true.
rulings that are undermining their
Yeah,
own
yeah.
enforcement.
Damn, she's spitting facts. Where was this retard last week when Trump deported terrorists? What? That's crazy. It's crazy. She was here all along. She was always on our side. She was always on our side. Truly an alliance to the people. Hell yeah. Trump, listen to AOC and just ignore the judges. Hell yeah. A box of rocks is smarter than this bitch. What are we even talking about? There are so many of these little sound bites. So, in case you wanted to know what Bernie Sanders is actually fighting for, what Bernie Sanders is actually fighting for in regards to Medicaid is very cool. He wants like mega socialism for everyone. He's like, think of communism, now make it even gayer. Gay communism. That is the movement of Bernie Sanders and AOC. See, the problem with Russian communism is there wasn't enough butt sex and genders. So this is going to be a gender-inclusive communist regime. That is what they are gunning for. So let me show you what every American's favorite neighbor to the north is dealing with when it comes to healthcare. Because everyone thinks that, healthcare is great. Everyone loves free healthcare, and I think free healthcare is fantastic, but there's an itty-bitty little problem.
Today on How Fucked is Canadian Healthcare, I need an MRI to see if I have a fucking brain tumor. And go ahead, guess when it is. Go ahead, guess.
Guess.
It's in 2026.
That's right, baby! MRI for a brain tumor. Just a 1-year wait.
2026. My MRI to see if I have a brain tumor is in 2026.
Yeah.
It's March 2026.
That's socialism, baby. Socialism, baby. It works so well. It's just never been tried with gay people.
Right now. And if you thought this was bad, it's actually worse than you thought. Because the appointment where we decided that I need this MRI was in December of last year.
So let's get this straight. 4 months after her doctor's appointment, she got the reservation for the MRI 9 months later. That's pretty goated. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. 60% taxes, free healthcare. Free healthcare. As long as you can wait, it'll save you fucking money.
So it's not like it's 10 months from now. It's 13 months.
Yes.
It's a 13-month wait.
13-month
to see
wait.
if I have a brain tumor.
Now you're probably wondering, maybe she doesn't actually have some sort of important issue, right? It's just an MRI for a brain tumor. Maybe she just wanted one randomly and she's dumb. Maybe she doesn't actually have any medical history as to why she should need to get this brain tumor MRI.
At first, I just thought this was a mistake because having an MRI every year is like a monitoring timeline. Like I already have an MRI every year for my spine tumor, which is why we think maybe I have a brain tumor too. So I was like, hey, they just made a mistake and scheduled this on a monitoring timeline. But no, I called and the clinic was like, yeah, the doctor actually requested that you have it earlier, but this is the next spot we have.
Yeah.
We're seeing about 13 months for these brain and spine MRIs.
Nice. Now you're probably wondering why she needs these MRIs.
Cool. Canada, where healthcare is free, but only if you can afford to wait.
I'm pretty sure she has spinal tumors also, and she's going because she's afraid that her spinal tumors spread to her brain, which is an unbelievably terrifying situation. That's it, baby. That's what's happening. Hell yeah, dude. See, here's the difference between healthcare in America versus healthcare in Canada versus healthcare in England. Healthcare in America is like, pay $1 million. Healthcare in England is wait 2 years. Healthcare in Canada is maybe consider killing yourself. As you can see, here's a quick sneak peek of what free healthcare looks like. This is the agenda Bernie Sanders and AOC are pushing.
Healthcare system is supposed to be like in Ontario.
Got here about 5:30 and been on the Healthcare Connect list for about 10 years now. Haven't had a
This is just a line of people.
for longer than that, so kind of a strange way to have people sign up for a doctor. But
Now, the funny thing is, I know a guy that's super socialist in Canada. He's actually a YouTuber. Should I expose him? Nah, I'm not gonna expose him. There's a YouTuber in Canada that I know. He's a super duper socialist. He actually called me out a couple of times because he's saying, Nux is going down the alt-right rabbit hole. So anyway, this YouTuber is a socialist, super socialist. If you voted for Trump, he will murder you probably. He hates Trump. Trump's a Nazi, super socialist. He's rich, he's a YouTuber. Every time he needs a medical situation, or his girlfriend needs a medical situation, he crosses the border to do it in America because otherwise he'll wait forever. Remember, he's pro-socialism, pro-free healthcare, pro the Canadian system, but when he has a medical problem, he goes to America to get it dealt with. Like, this is insane. And he's not the only one, by the way. I'm just pointing him out because he's a socialist. That just makes it even funnier. But for me, it's absolutely asinine. I would love some sort of middle-of-the-road option. I think a middle-of-the-road option would be the best, where you can have a system of privatized healthcare and socialized healthcare. Obviously, that would be incredible. I would love that to be in a way that it doesn't take 60% of your fucking taxes, which it does. Because in Canada, you're paying a fuck ton of money. You're paying for healthcare, except not for your own. You're paying for everyone's healthcare. That's what they're running for. So I think, obviously, I think I'm not a big socialism fan. I'm not a big fan of extreme capitalism, but I'm not a fan of extreme social. I mean, extreme socialism's way worse, literally way worse. So again, to cut back to this. The video speaks for itself. 34,000 in Denver, largest political rally since 2008. It was 20,000. It also was a paid protest. It also wasn't the largest political rally. Unbelievable lies on top of lies. But don't worry, gamers. It gets worse. It gets worse, guys. Hasan made a video talking with Bernie Sanders and AOC. So Hasan socialist dick sucker extraordinaire decides he is gonna show up to these rallies and he is gonna talk to the potential future king and queen of America socialism, because communism has always been a good thing. So anyway, let's see what our GOAT Hasan Piker had to say to our front-running Democratic candidates right now. I'm sure he only has good things to say. Now, in case Bernie or AOC are unaware, while I don't like either of you personally, I don't hate you, all right? So I'm gonna let you know that you are currently talking to a terrorist sympathizer and supporter. All right, feel free to check out the Hasan Piker is 200% fuck video on my channel. He advocates for 4 separate terrorist organizations. He cheers when Jews get murdered in Israel. All right, Bernie Sanders, pretty sure you're Jewish. Maybe look into that. Who knows? Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and MBs, we have Bernie Sanders and AOC in the building. You guys are about to go up and speak at another one of the rallies that you've been doing, the Fighting Oligarchy tour, and I'm very excited to have you here. Vegas specifically for me has a lot of importance, because I always say it's like the last time that I felt really hopeful about the future of this country, because I was outdoor knocking for you along with the Chapo boys as well.
He is such a cocksucker, it's crazy. He's such a cocksucker. I've been supporting you for so long, Mr. Sanders. Please come on my show. I need you to beat Asmongold. Asmongold is bigger than me. Please, Bernie Sanders. Please join me on my content farm. Please. Feel free to check out Hasan Piker's Fuck franchise for reasons why he's an asshole.
In the primaries.
And we did pretty well, huh?
Yeah, and everyone kept saying, oh, the culinary union is not going to vote, but the rank and file very clearly was swinging in your direction. And
dude, look at him describing this. It's like, yeah, everything was so good. He lost a lot, very big, turns out.
And in spite of the media attacks, you obviously pulled through, and then COVID, and then...
I love how he's describing how Bernie Sanders survived media attacks. Unlike how, Trump... There's no one that survived media attacks like Donald Trump.
Hell broke loose, obviously, and here we are. You don't have a lot of time, so, and I'm sure that we'll get to talk a little bit more in the future as well.
What an unbelievable glazer. We don't have a lot of time. Definitely come on my stream. Pay attention to how many times he tries to get these people to come on his stream. All right, listen to this. It is insane, all right? All right, so that was number 2. All right, pay attention to how many times he sucks them off to join his stream.
Well, but I went to Japan recently, and I got both of you guys gifts. I actually have another gift for you, but unfortunately I don't have your gift, the actual gift here. Hold on. This one's for you. This is a Palestinian movement in Japan.
It's the craziest shit in the world. He went to Japan to get her a Palestinian movement of Japan thing. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sure, my ass. Holy, first of all, gay. Second of all, and I think this is much more important, do you know what America did to Japan when Japan did a relatively equivalent situation as to what Hamas did to Israel? Do you remember what America did to Japan when Pearl Harbor happened? Just asking. Just asking if any of you guys remember what happened. Because if Hamas would have done to America what they did to Israel, bro, there would be no more fucking Gaza. All right? Let's just put this into perspective here. Oh my God, he went to Japan to support Palestine. That's Hasan Piker.
Thank you.
Solidarity with Palestine, and this is a little train.
And he got Bernie Sanders a little train. This is so wholesome.
For public transit.
The cringe fest is dying. It's for public transit. This is so nice. Sir, can you at least work a little harder next time you suck my dick? Like maybe work the shaft or something?
Japanese Communist Party pin for you as well, but unfortunately, because I went over there and I checked out their headquarters. Right. But what are you guys trying to accomplish?
All right, so now that that's settled, dude, I knew there was a clip I was forgetting. I had a clip pulled up that I needed to show you, and I somehow didn't show it to you. I must have skipped it. Ain't no way I skipped it. This one was so damning. It's gonna be so relevant right now. God damn it! Hey, that's crazy! This is a clip from Fox News. All right, talking about what's going on with the AOC rally. Now, the funniest thing is this over here is a lady by the name of Batya. She is a liberal. Self-proclaimed liberal. She calls herself a liberal every time she's on Fox News doing a panel, but she's a liberal. Let's see what she had to say about AOC's thingy.
There is such an irony to Democrats talking about oligarchy because, of course, for every one billionaire that backed President Trump, Kamala Harris had 2. 9 of the 10 richest counties in America are represented by Democrats. 65% of Americans making over $500,000 a year today are Democrats. 75% of hedge fund managers who make political donations donate to Democrats, and 95% of political donations from the top 3 management consulting firms go to Democrats.
Good thing she's fighting oligarchy. Ding, 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 as they say. It's almost like they've always been the quote-unquote oligarchs. Left on left violence, we take this every time.
Meanwhile, President Trump absolutely crushed with Americans who make under $100,000 a year. The Democrats are the party of the wealthy. And Donald Trump is representing the working class because he simply lifted the pro-worker elements of the Democrats' agenda when they abandoned the working class to cater to their rich base. This is all performance art. And what's so upsetting about it is they are being paid by the American people to serve them, and they are doing nothing of the kind.
Yeah, so this is a liberal, this is a Democrat, a registered Democrat reporter lady talking about this. Just for perspective, guys. For perspective. I thought that was definitely relevant. Hell yeah. You know who really represents the people? This guy. I represent the people. We laugh at retards, baby. And there's so many of them. God damn it. So I wanted to show you this. Her basically breaking down. This is a Democrat. Left on left violence, the way God intended. This is basically, essentially, ultimately, how retarded this entire fight oligarchy movement is. I wanted to show that to you because I think it's going to be very relevant when you hear how they explain what their movement is. But to make it even funnier, known anti-Semite Hasan Piker gave a train to a Jew. You can't make this shit up.
These rallies. Let's get started.
I mean, I think that the kind of moment that we're in, and also something that Trump was able to exploit, was really practicing, even though he doesn't believe in working class politics.
Even though his taxes, as I've showed you, were the number one benefited party was the working class, as I've already showed you. That's a fact, according to the IRS.
They had a very focused working class strategy, and I think for a while, Democratic Party clearly wasn't effective at that, wasn't successful at that. And I think one of the things that we're here to do is to actually rally a class-conscious movement.
Even though they're literally also funded by the same bullshit oligarchs.
To bring people together and to show that we can fight for a better future, not in marginalizing and attacking people, marginalized people, but actually in rejecting the differences that we have to come together in common cause and to organize folks.
Well, I agree. To me, this country faces the worst set of crises that we have faced in a very, very, very long time.
Oh my God, just the way he describes it. We're facing such a crisis. A billionaire funding a president? Pay no attention to George Soros. He was a billionaire behind the scenes. That's a totally different story.
We are looking at a nation which is now oligarchic. And they don't hide it. I mean, I must give them credit for that. They are.
What are we talking about? 95% of the billionaires fund Democrats. What are we even saying?
They're out there. Mr. Musk, the richest guy in the world, is running all over the place, cutting the needs of veterans, cutting after Social Security.
It's unbelievable. What are we even dealing with, bro? They just lie.
There are in addition to Musk, you got 13 nominees of Trump to head major agencies who are all billionaires. So you got a government, clearly, no embarrassment, of the billionaire class, by the billionaire class, for the billionaire class.
This is coming from, we need to put a lie counter on the screen at some point. How do you debunk infinite slop talking points like this? Like the Democrats did shit for veterans. What are we talking about? Do they know it's bullshit, or do they think they're telling the truth? There's no way they actually think they're telling the truth. I've already debunked everything that he said.
And then what is, I would hope, would be upsetting to all Americans, no matter what their politics may be. You can be conservative about this. You got a president who is moving us very rapidly into an authoritarian form of society. I mean, you don't sue me.
Nothing like the authoritarian form of society where they locked people in their homes during COVID. Remember when they locked people up during COVID because they went outside? Yeah, pretty sure that was Biden.
Media in America, because they say something bad about you. Alexandria and I got about 500 lawsuits there, but we happen to believe.
What are we talking about? No one attacked anyone like Trump. Like, you could say AOC and Bernie Sanders definitely get bad press. People definitely go after these people 100%. All right? I fully 100% agree that they get harassed online. But no one gets harassed online like Trump. They literally called him a rapist for years. Like, dude, they're talking about getting random harassment online and from the media trying to get lawsuits? Like, really? Really? You're one to talk? You're one to talk? Check this shit out.
All these journalists.
And this is you, right? This is you.
Are like, Congresswoman, are you going to the inauguration? Congresswoman, are you going to the inauguration? Are you going to the inauguration? Let me make myself clear. I don't celebrate rapists.
Yeah, Trump's not a rapist. He was actually found innocent of rape in court. He actually won a lawsuit against ABC News when they called him a rapist. So you're pretty brave to sit on your fucking glass throne talking about how people harass you in the media when you are that media that harasses people. Now, this isn't a shock. I mean, this is Hasan Piker. Hasan hates right? He hates Donald Trump because of Donald Trump's things. Says the guy who thinks that white women getting raped is, from a utilitarian perspective, a good thing. Like, that's the bullshit we're dealing with. Dude, there are memes about Hasan. Memes about him saying exactly that. This guy supports Hamas terrorists that rape Jews. Like, what are we talking about?
Believe in democracy. You don't ask for the impeachment of judges because they issue a ruling which you disagree with.
Even though I already showed the clip of AOC saying that the Biden administration should bypass judges, everything they say is hypocrisy.
So these are tough times. And what we have got to do is rally the working families of this country to stand.
I mean, you do realize this is literally fear-mongering. That this is nothing other than fear-mongering.
Stand up to oligarchy and to demand that we have an economy and a government that works for all, not just the people on top.
So one way that this government, I think, the Trump administration has been able to very expertly tackle these issues is by using an entry point of pre-established marginalization. Obviously, the erosion of civil liberties is happening all around, but like...
The erosion of civil liberties. Dog, could women still vote, or did they cancel that shit yet? I don't know. Let me know.
In terms of attacking free speech.
The attack on free speech when he deported a terrorist-supporting non-citizen.
A fundamental principle that I think all Americans agree on. And the way that he's done this, the way that this administration has attacked free speech is by doing something that previously has only been utilized in the darkest times of American history.
The darkest times of American history. What are we talking about?
I'm, of course, talking about Mahmoud Khalil.
Mahmoud Khalil, the terrorist supporter, non-American citizen. How is that anything remotely similar to what you're talking about? If you want to see my breakdown on Hasan supporting terrorists like Mahmoud Khalil's support of that guy and that entire situation, feel free to check out the video on my very own channel. Hasan Piker is 280% fucked. Hard to keep track of how fucked Hasan is at any given point in time. The good thing is we have the greatest playlist of the history of time. Check it out, baby. The how fucked, that's the critically acclaimed How Fucked is the Democrats, but even more loved and respected is the How Fucked is Hasan Piker franchise. Truly going into the deepest of dives. So, yeah, Hasan Piker is 270% fucked. That's when he lost his mind that they deported terrorist supporters, because he's also a terrorist supporter.
Potentially being deported, or at least having his green card revoked for basically nothing.
Basically nothing. Aside from not letting Jewish students into school buildings, cornering off school buildings, impeding traffic and business, allegedly. Also, apparently, supporting terrorists, promoting terrorist propaganda, and also, let's remind you, he's not a fucking citizen of the United States of America, okay? If you invite someone into your house and they start supporting terrorists that want to kill you, get them the fuck out of here. Let's just remind you, bro incited protests, some of them probably violent, and also, he said in his own words he wants to cause the downfall of Western civilization. Could we stop normalizing? Can we please stop normalizing bringing people into countries that want to cause the downfalls of those countries? That shit is toxic as fuck and needs to get excised from, in my opinion, from American society. Should not be bringing people into America that want to destroy America.
Administration is all but admitted for no discernible reason other than the fact that he was the lead negotiator on the student side, the student protesters at Columbia campus.
So he's just lying. That's not at all. It's not because he was a lead negotiator of anything.
On top of that, just like in Nazi Germany, he's
out here pushing his shit.
Trump administration is now trying to put up an academic receivership and take charge and take control over different institutions within Columbia, and I feel like this is a grave mistake. Do you feel like the Democrats have any sort of interest in fighting back against this? Regardless of what their opinion might be on Israel, the fact is that this is...
Regardless what his opinion might be on Israel, like when he said that Israeli babies are valid military targets from terrorists, regardless of that opinion of his, which some would think is extreme, Bernie Sanders, I don't know if you're aware of this, if you'd be in Israel right now, Hasan would want you to get murdered.
Greatly going to expand, and it's simply just the entry point. Like the Palestine conversation is simply an entry point that has at least...
It's weird that he brought up Israel and the terrorists that and shit like a dozen times, but he didn't a single time mention the fact that currently there's crazy protests in Turkey, the fact that there are people getting executed in Syria and in the Congo. It's kind of weird that he doesn't say about any of that.
It's like some semblance of institutional backing, but it's obvious to me that they're going to go after a lot of other people, including but not limited to the French researcher.
I love how he said that he's asking a question, right? Hasan is asking them a question. This is just totally Hasan asking questions, right? No, that's not the impression you're getting. Well, to me, it looks like Hasan is using AOC and Bernie Sanders to sit next to him so he could propagate his terrorist propaganda with famous politicians behind him so that people could take him more seriously. For me, that's what this looks like. This looks like he's absolutely just posturing and promoting his dangerous fucking ideology, promoting the death of American senators and whatever the fuck he does, having them here. I don't know why he's ranting like this when he should be asking them questions. Kind of weird, huh?
According to Le Monde, that was denied entry into the country because they looked through his phone and they found out that he had criticized Trump's elimination of grants.
Yeah, that not just because he criticized Trump's elimination of grants, it was also apparently because there were cybersecurity risks. That was what the Department of Justice said about that. But of course, why quote the Department of Justice when you could just trust the person himself that hates Trump?
I think there actually is support for it because of the free speech grounds on it. Because of the free speech grounds, because when ICE came to try to pick up, in Khalil's case, when they tried to pick him up, they offered no warrant. These were unmarked people. There were no charges. And so you have Senator Durbin and Senate Judiciary, right, Bernie?
Yep, he is the ranking member of the Judiciary.
I believe they released a statement talking about how they want to move on this. But I also think that it goes without saying that there is still profound money and interest that remains dedicated on both sides of the aisle in trying to marginalize and also conflate criticism of Israel as anti-Semitism.
Right.
By the way, I fully think that we should not be conflating criticism of Israel to anti-Semitism too. Not every criticism of Israel means anti-Semitism, okay? I criticize Israel sometimes, and I don't hate Jews. So I definitely think that's possible. However, when you have people like Hasan, whose entire fucking existence is just saying Zionist when he's referring to Jews, his chat is constantly talking about kill the murderous, bloodthirsty Zionist pig dogs, and it just basically every Jew is called a Zionist in his chat. That is despicable shit. Like, really. Like, I also don't think there should be a conflation between criticizing Israel and anti-Semitism. But, that is incredibly different than how he operates when he says that baby settlers are valid military targets.
And we have to be very aware of that too.
We have very limited time, and you guys have to...
do I need... Sorry.
You got no time.
I'm going...
Okay.
It's my cue.
All right, perfect.
Sorry.
One question I actually wanted to ask you before we let you go is, you've also talked about... you've talked recently with the New York Times about what the future of the Democratic Party looks like and what maybe young enterprising individuals must do. And I believe I'm paraphrasing here, you said something along the lines of like running as an independent rather than utilizing the party
for
infrastructure.
me, that's not a very radical concept because I am the longest serving independent.
Yeah.
Not radical at all. You know why he wants to be independent? Because the left is not left enough. That is why he's even considering running as independent, because he wants to go full fucking left. He wants to go to full actual communism.
American congressional history, and I've always run as
The Democratic Party, unironically, needs to get rebuilt from the ground up. It's so cooked. It's so cooked. You have half the party wanting to leave to become even more left. Like, that's the solution. Yes, that's the solution. More genders, goddammit.
independent. Look, I think the Democrats over the years deserve credit for the work they've done on women's rights, on gay rights, on civil rights in general, fighting bigotry. They deserve credit, and they've made progress. But I don't think anybody with a straight face can tell you that they've stood up for the working class of this country. And I think that's why.
True. You know who did set it up much more for the working class? Yeah, Trump.
Why so many working class people have drifted into the Republican Party, not because they believe in tax breaks for billionaires or they don't believe that
Most of the tax breaks go to the working class, as we've covered already.
climate change is real. It's they look at the Democrats and there's not much.
Yeah, not everyone that lives on that votes for Trump thinks that climate change is not real. People just think that there are concerns that are more important. I'm going to give you a hot take. If banks are still investing in 30-year loans on beachfront property, then I don't think you have anything to worry about for the next 30 years. Whereas if there's a nuclear war, you have to worry tomorrow.
There. So what my view is people should think about running as they want. Progressive independents should run as progressive Democrats, but don't necessarily feel that you have to run within the Democratic Party. And I think as you may recall, in Nebraska, a fellow named Dan Osborne ran a really, really powerful campaign as an independent, running as a very proud trade unionist, running on economic issues, and he did extremely well, much better than anyone had anticipated. So that was my point, and I think it makes sense.
Do you feel like there's any sort of momentum to break through the duopoly in this structure as someone who
He wants to break through the duopoly, right? The oligarchy is too strong. There's too many people on the right and on the left. We gotta get even further left. We need a third party, guys. The super left, mega communism. Shout out to Bernie Sanders, who, by the way, went to the USSR on his honeymoon. We are literally dealing with communism here.
who has run as an independent?
It's a long discussion. If you're asking me, do I think we could start a third party tomorrow? I don't, for a lot of reasons, having to do with restrictions in various states making it almost impossible. But I think what you're seeing is massive discontent with both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. More and more people are looking for, I think, independent alternatives.
Yeah. Oh, you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was like a much. Yeah, epic. He managed to put his message out to the entire terrorist sympathizer audience. So hell yeah, they're really prepping this guy to run. It's gonna be insane.
All right, listen, great to see you.
Well, that's over. I guess Hasan is gonna wrap it up with only 2 times asking Bernie to come onto his show.
We'll hopefully do this again.
Never mind, that's 3 times that he asked. That is 3 times that he asked Bernie to come onto his show in the future.
Very soon.
Okay.
All right, we'll go over to the rally now. We got to get your mic off.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Okay, we good.
All right, chatters. That was Bernie Sanders and AOC. There was obviously a lot more discussion that I wanted to get to, but unfortunately, they literally are going up right now.
All right, more discussion he wanted to get to. No, the only thing Hasan talked about was terrorist supporters getting more rights. That's the only thing he said in his entire conversation. I really wish we could have gotten to more discussion. You see, the issue is we only managed to talk about how terrorist supporters are being treated poorly.
So it was short. Hopefully, one of these days when I have a little bit, or Bernie has a little bit more time, I'll be able to conduct a longer interview.
Hell yeah, a little bit more. That's what, number 4, number 5 that he tried to get Bernie to come onto his show. In the future, we're gonna get him on, guys.
With both AOC and Bernie. I think we need to do like a podcast almost.
Yes, the 6th time. Let's get a podcast. Me, AOC, and Bernie. 3 communists and 1 terrorist supporter.
You know?
I totally know. Hell yeah. Anyway, that's been this situation. So I wanted to just show you a little bit about what the fight oligarchy movement is all around. You got Bernie Sanders and AOC going on this giant, the commie cast, going crazy. They're all going around here rallying support for basically communism too. They're gonna make it crazy. It's gonna be gay communism, the new movement. It's gonna be crazy. Last time he had Bernie Sanders on his show, he lost 13,000 followers. Because you see, the thing about Bernie Sanders is he doesn't want to murder Israeli babies, and that's just not something Hasan could come to terms with. Definitely subscribe for future chaos. I'm very excited to start the AOC is any percent fuck franchise. It's gonna be glorious. Nothing like a little bit of terrorist support on the side to make sure that AOC really has good footing. Hell yeah. This might have been the worst interview in the history of interviews. He managed to get these two famous politicians behind him so he could sit there and promote his message about how terrorism is based. Nothing like my goat Hasan sitting there trying his best to support terrorists at any possible time in any possible venue. Definitely subscribe for future chaos, and I'll see you in the next one, gamers. Bye. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, man.